here I am, schlepping some stuff. Well, I've actually already schlepped it, but I'm showing you, so does that count as schlepping? I don't think so. But my schlep stuff bag is pretty cool, I must say. Okay. I know, ages since I uploaded. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Apologies. I promise I'll do better. Y'all know the routine, so I probably shouldn't keep doing that. I should just shut up and do what I'm going to do. So we're going to do that. So I have new books to show you. And honestly, some of these I've had since last December. I was super duper uber busy at work, especially the end of last year, and never got around to mentioning them to y'all or doing really anything in regards to this channel. Oh, it's the story of my life. Anyway, I guess it doesn't matter when I got them, but I have them. So I have books from the Goodwill. I have books I got for Christmas. I have books from Half Price Books. If y'all haven't checked out Half Price in your area of the country, I highly suggest you do, because they're half price, hence the name Half Price Books. But you probably got that already, huh? And I have a handful of books from my bestie. Her name is Lissy. Actually, her name is Melissa, but I call her Lissy. Anyway, and a few that I bought myself at Barnes & Noble. So I'm gonna shut up about all this dumb things and such and show you what I got. So the first batch of books, as they fall over. That's awesome. This is one I got from my bestie, The Girl Before by Rena Olson. It's a psychological thriller, and she just gave me a handful of psychological thrillers in the hopes I would like them. I'm a big fan of The Girl on the Train. Of course, Gone Girl. I think everybody loves Gone Girl, except for the movie. The book is awesome. Read it if you haven't. The next one is My Husband's Wife by Jane Corey. That sounds interesting. An eye for an eye, a wife for a wife. It sounds like an interesting movie of the week. This is, oh wow, This Is Not Over by Holly Brown. I have no idea what it's about. And this one is Girl Last Seen by Nita Lauren. And I'll tell you, I have an extra one of this that I will be giving away if anybody is interested. I will either post a video here, I probably won't, but y'all know how much I suck, or Instagram regarding that. Okay? Alright, those are there, and I guess I'll do these right now. They want to be difficult. Okay. These are books I bought at Barnes & Noble. I haven't been book shopping in forever and a day, obviously, because I don't have nearly as many books as I usually do when I show you all this, but that is what that is. This is Stardust by Neil Gaiman. I'm sure a good chunk of y'all know about this book. If not, you know about the movie. Either way, they're both amazing. Actually, I don't know. I've never read it, but I'll find out. Oop. This one is Anger, Wisdom for cooling the flames. And I will forever mispronounce this gentleman's name, so I'm not going to try to butcher it. Or I will butcher it. I'm not going to have to try. He is a Buddhist monk, and he's amazing. His novels are, not his novels, but his books are fantastic. And if you have any interest in Buddhism, I say this is a good place to check, is with one of his books. This is Six Women of Salem by Marilyn K. Roach. This is a $10 book, but the funny thing is it says bargain price, but this is the actual price of the book. So Barnes & Noble thinks they're getting one over on you, when they're not. But, yes. Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. Speaking of The Girl on the Train, this is the same author. And I believe my bestie gave me this one too, if I'm not mistaken. And this one is The Rules of Magic by Alice Hoffman, which is a prequel to Practical Magic. And if you're not familiar with the book, I'm pretty sure you know the movie with Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman. It's a great movie. They actually filmed that in Washington State, on an island called San Juan Island. It's the farthest island of Washington closest to Canada, and my grandparents lived there in the town of Friday Harbor, and I went there and I went to school there for a time, and it was beautiful. And you'll notice that when you see the movie, how beautiful it is. Okay, so there we have those, and they all just want to slide over, so why don't I let them? So these, I believe I bought at Half Price Books. This is a series by Mercedes Lackey. She is a sci-fi fantasy writer, one of my favorites. And the series is called Elemental Masters. And I think there's maybe 8 books. Anyway, they're all very different. They all have a completely different plot involving different characters. One actually involves Sherlock Holmes, which I can't wait to get to. The first one is, as I drop it, ignore my broken fingernail, Serpent's Shadow. And the next one is Reserved for the Cat, and then Phoenix and Ashes. These are not in any kind of order. I know this is the first one. The other two, I'm not sure. But that was all they had, so I grabbed them. This is Stranger Than Fiction by Chuck Palahniuk. I know I mispronounce it. I've mentioned him before. Y'all know I'm a big fan of his books. When I crack one open, I don't put it down until I finished it. And this one is, let's see, Catherine of Aragon by Alison Weir, who is one of my favorite historical fiction writers. She also writes historical nonfiction, which are even better. And she's doing a book on each of the 6 Tudor queens. Of course, this is the first. And interestingly enough, I don't know how many of y'all know this, but I know usually, this is sort of a tangent, Catherine of Aragon is usually portrayed very dark hair, dark eyes, olive complected skin, but actually we found out, we, as in the general we's and everybody, that it was more likely she was very fair-skinned with reddish hair. Kind of neat, huh? Okay. There's that one. And that one, as I'm throwing books around. And next, these are the ones that I have gotten from Goodwill. Wow. Took me a second. This is Sweet Frances. I'm not going to butcher this poor woman's name, but look. We have the same name, except hers has that fun little accent on the E. I bought this actually twice. Accidentally. Ain't that fun. This is Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel, which they made into a mini-series. And it is, of course, based on Henry VIII, Anne Boleyn, all that fun, good stuff. There's a sequel, which I actually did not know until I saw it, called Bringing Up the Bodies. And I believe this takes place right after, or right before, I think right after Anne Boleyn's execution. But I'll find out. This is Agatha Christie, The Body Library. Anyway, this is Miss Marple. If y'all are at all familiar with, wow, Agatha Christie, that took me a second. Hopefully you're familiar with her books or the 5,020 different TV shows, movies, miniseries that have been made from her books. If not, try reading a couple. The only kind of sort of bummer about reading her books is after a few you can kind of tell who did it. Did it. So that's frustrating, but if you read them in small amounts or small doses, you're good. The last one is In the Kingdom of Mist by Jane Jakeman. This is a funky book. I don't know how many of y'all will recognize the artwork, but that is Claude Monet, who is my favorite. I'm saying my favorite a lot. If not my favorite, one of my favorite artists, but definitely my favorite French Impressionist. Wow, his paintings are beautiful. And ignore the line in Clueless about being a full-on Monet, because it's not true. Anyway, this takes place when he was alive, obviously, because he's in it, and involves murders that resemble Jack the Ripper, kind of around the time that happened, I think sometime after. And he and his son are somehow suspects. I thought, that sounds interesting. So there's that one. All right, y'all, that was it. I would flip around to show you myself, but I don't want to scare anybody because my hair looks sort of like it could frighten children. And I don't want to run the risk of frightening anybody. Children, pets, adults, birds, llamas. Anybody have a llama? I want a llama. Actually, no, I'd like an alpaca because they're fluffy. I got to pet a real life alpaca once upon a time ago. Speaking of Friday Harbor, there's Alpaca Farm outside the town, and I got there right before they were sheared, and they were so fluffy and so soft, and there were little babies, and then the pregnant mommies were sectioned off all by themselves so they could be safe, and I need an alpaca in my life. I'm just gonna move to Friday Harbor. Fuck it. Anyway, I love y'all for sticking with me. I know it sucks because I never update my channel. I'm just not what I once was, I guess, when it comes to YouTube. But anybody who subscribes to my channel is my hero. I love you. I know I have people who subscribe to this channel who were subscribed to my original channel, Pinky Charm. Those are the days, weren't they, folks? Those are the days. And anybody who's new, welcome and thank you. Yeah, so virtual hugs and kisses and waves and all that other good stuff. That was, I don't know why I said that. It was really kind of trite. But I hope you dig my Schlepp Stuff bag, because I do. And if you have read any of these books, please let me know. Give me your opinion, whether you hated it, whether you loved it. If you're familiar with any of these authors and there's a particular book that you like, also please let me know. Y'all know I'm always looking for book recommendations, author recommendations, hell, genre recommendations. And yeah, so thank you, and I'm trying the best I can try. And hopefully you'll see me soon. Bye!